Hey everybody, so I finally got a chance to use the FlashQ M20. I did not use it at an event. I just walked around the building with somebody to try it out. And, my first thoughts on it were, it's a decent flash. I got the metal copy of this. It's a nice flash. So while I was shooting, I was having a problem getting it off the camera. And I think it was because I wasn't pushing in this release button that's on here. I don't think I was pushing it in all the way. So it kept getting hung up and I couldn't it still gets hung up, but there may have been user error. So that part is probably out of the scenario. The second thing I had an issue with was I got some misfires. And I don't know if the misfires came from it not recycling fast enough. And I was at a lower rate on it. I think I was at 1/16th. And I went up to 1/4 a couple times. But the misfires were disturbing to me because I remember the very first time I tried the FlashQ, I got a lot of misfires. And it was the plastic version. I just thought maybe this one would be a little bit better. And it could be, like I said. During the shoot, I used the LED to help focus and stuff, and it's a little awkward. And I think I would have put this on and off a lot more if I didn't have the issue of... No, it's definitely not me. It's definitely sticking. So this does stick. I think the key every once in a while this sticks and it's hard to get off, and that would be embarrassing as hell for me at an event. Anyway, after I was doing the shoot and walking around the building a little bit, it was fine. Don't get me wrong. I think this would be a great flash for a lot of people, but it's just not my cup of tea. And the other thing was, for some reason, I didn't like the tone of the flash, the color of the flash. And again, this could be totally me and totally obscure, but maybe I'm just used to the Fuji and what it gives me and how it does. Like I said, this could be totally user bias. But build quality and the perception of this on how you can just pop this off and do a shot, I think is fabulous. So for a lot of people that are just casual shooters or, that, I don't know what it is and why this sticks all the time. Anyway, and again, it's probably just me, but no, it's not. There's every once in a while, these tongs go crooked and hang on to it. So anyway, so for anybody that's, doing events and so forth that are just not critical or not fast paced or anything like that, it may be a great little flash. But I did a shoot. We'll walk through the shoot and show you what it did. But I did end up switching back to the Fuji, halfway, 3/4 of the way through the shoot because this was driving me a little nuts. And again, this is user opinion. I'm not saying this is a bad flash; it's a fine flash. But I just had quirky things that could have been me, but they bothered me enough to say, wait a second, let me just go shoot with Fuji. Anyway, enjoy the shoot, and if you have any questions, even below. I don't know how good I can answer them because I'm a novice with this flash, honestly. This is only the second time I used it. But like I said, it's a decent flash for what it is, and for the price, it's not a bad flash at all. But anyway, enjoy. No better place to start than a dark corridor, and it is a lot darker than it looks, I promise you. I think I was filming this on the iPhone, and it does a really good job in dark areas. Anyway, so I used the flash both in hand and on camera throughout this, as you will see, and I'll have to tell you when, because you'll see it. But like I said, it does a decent job. There's no issues. This one here, I had to move because it wasn't the mirror that caused me the problem. It was actually the white trim. That's what was kicking back most of the flash. When I moved to the side, this one was, from the front in the beginning. And then when her against the mirror, I had no problem with it. I just had to cut out that white border so the flash wouldn't kick back on the camera. For some reason, it was just hitting it just right and kicking back on the camera. So I just moved the camera a little bit to the right and blocked that out. But anyway, like I said, handheld, you can get some nice shots. So there's no issues there whatsoever. The tones are a little different for me, and not by much minor, but they're definitely different. Now this, I mean, that's just pitch black in there. I know you can't see it, but it's just really dark in there to the human eye. And so I trying to figure out how to turn the modeling light on this thing. And I didn't know, because some flashes, if you put the modeling light, the flash doesn't work. And if you put the modeling light doesn't work. Well, this, I got to give it props for that, because I can actually turn the modeling light on and fire the flash at the same time, which is great. It just took me a while to figure out where it was. And then I had to turn it up because I wasn't at full power. But, once you put it at full power, it kicks out some pretty good light. I mean, I mean, you can't shoot with it. Well, I guess you could in higher ISOs. But I just used it, for focusing, make focusing easier, because it was so dark in that elevator. And, it worked great. That was nice. But again, misfiring. And each location I went to, I had a little bit more misfiring. So anyway, I'm back in the studio, and I figured I'm going to see what this camera or this flash can do on camera versus off camera, because I love the look of it on camera flash, and it's nice. There's no issues, and the tone was a little bit better in studio, but not much. And every time I tried to remove that, I had an issue removing it from the remote. And I originally thought, oh, maybe it's me. I switched over to the Fuji at this point, because I was getting so frustrated with it. And, I'm back to my tones that I love and the ease of use and no misfires whatsoever, ever. So that's the only reason I switched over. So I, kind of cut this thing short. But like I said earlier, the flash works. There's no issues with it. It does a job. But I personally don't use it, or wouldn't use it, because of the misfires and the tone, because I'm so used to this tone. And yeah, you can fix it in Lightroom and but if I don't have to fix tone, like, why would I want to? Why would I want to add an extra step into my workflow? Now, if the flash was this absolutely never failed kind of flash, it just worked, it was premium, it was, I wouldn't even mind. I'd, set up a little action to fix it. But, for me, I like the look better of this on-camera flash of the Fuji, because it's so close to the lens. I like the way it renders. That's just me. But, like, am I going to tell anybody not to buy the Q flash because of that? No. It's a nice pocket flash. The metal one's a little heavier than the plastic one, admittedly, but I don't know. There's a build quality with this metal one that I'm pretty impressed with. And I don't know, how easily the plastic one comes off the remote. But it really was aggravating. And if I was shooting an event, it would have been, pretty embarrassing. Here, I just got rid of the flash and said, screw it, we'll do some daylight stuff. And yeah, it's a Leica camera, so I really love the tones and colors from the daylight. Anyway, thanks for watching.